Hi students, my name is Dr. Diana Coleman. You see I've got my doctor shirt on. I am celebrating being freshly credentialed, and then I will, put this shirt away and it'll be a PJ shirt and I won't wear it anymore. But for the moment I'm reveling a little bit in it. It's been a lot of hard work. Okay, so this is REL 381, Religion and Moral Issues. I'm so glad to have all of you in this course. I'm really looking forward to talking about these important issues of our times with you over the next 6 weeks. The first thing I'd like you to do is to print out the syllabus. And here's the syllabus, Religion and Moral Issues. So make sure you have a copy of that, read it all the way through. Also print out the assignment checklist. Those two documents will tell you much of what you need to know for the management, how to navigate this course when things are due. It gives you a broad overview, and I'll be there to help along the way and provide other kinds of written support. So we, in week 1, are going to be reading from Blackwell's Companion to Religious Ethics. We're going to read just 15 pages. It's the intro. I've uploaded that in PDFs. You'll find those in the week 1 folder. And you can also find this book online. It's an ebook through ASU's library, so you can really explore anything that you find interesting. You can see it's a massive tome. There's a lot to read. And then the other things we're reading from in week 1, we're going to read from Subverting Greed. It's an edited volume, and Subverting Hatred, another edited volume. I've posted I've posted 2 chapters from each of these books, so that's 4 chapters plus the 15 pages. And now this Subverting Hatred you don't have to buy, but Subverting Greed I would like you to purchase, and we'll be reading that a little bit at a time throughout the course as we're tackling other books, but we'll keep coming back to that issue. So that's week 1. And then weeks 2 and 3, we're going to be reading Martin, Malcolm, and America. And so in week 2, we read through page 151, basically the first half of the book, and we'll be watching some of Malcolm's speeches and some of Martin Luther King's speeches. And then in the following week, the syllabus has a slight typo. There's a number left off. We'll basically be reading the second half of the book. So I think it says that we'll be reading to page, it says 151 to 31, and that should be 151 to 318. So you can just make a little note of that so you're not confused. And then the week after, we will read from Surveillance, Secrecy, and Sovereignty. And we're going to also be reading a chapter from Guantanamo and American Empire. These 2 I'm going to provide because this is too expensive for you to have to purchase. And we're only going to be reading a chapter or so. And this book seems impossible. ASU was not able to get it. So I'm kind of frustrated with that. It seems not to be available anymore in the United States, which may be because of the topic. I don't know. But I'll provide chapters from that book and context for it. And then we're going to finish our last 2 weeks. We're going to be reading Religion and Ecology, Developing a Planetary Ethic, which is Whitney Bauman's book. He's a professor at FIU. Who I happen to know, and whose work I respect very much. And I was so glad to see this book come to fruition. It's the most challenging of the books in terms of what it demands of the student. It's got some theory in there, but we're going to work on it together. And it's a beautifully written book, and it's an important book. So I think you'll really like it. I've had students respond very well to that. So those are, again, I'll say, these are the books you need to buy. Subverting Greed, Martin Malcolm in America, Religion and Ecology. If you can borrow them from a library, great. If you can find a used copy, wonderful. Any of those are fine in used form. I will caution you that although ASU Library has this one available online as an ebook, we can't all be reading it at the same time. So you will want to get a copy of this in one form or another. I think you can even rent them through the ASU bookstore. So this is the way the class is going to go. This class starts today, which is a Friday, so you will have a full week to get the reading for week 1 done. This following Tuesday and every Tuesday thereafter, you will be posting to discussion board. You'll be answering a prompt that I have on discussion board for you. So you'll write your response on a Tuesday, and then on Thursday of the same week, by Thursday, you will respond to a classmate's post. So you always have those two things, weeks 1 through 5. You'll do an original post and you will respond to a classmate. Read the details of how long I want those to be, and what I'm asking you to, how I want them constructed, because you definitely need to be drawing on our sources. You need to be citing our materials. You're welcome to bring in outside materials. You want to be consistent with citations. You want to do more than say to a fellow classmate, hey, good job. Well, okay, but that's fine. You can say that, and I'm sure that it's good to hear that from one another, but you have to go beyond that and actually respond to the content of their ideas or their arguments. Then you're going to be writing a short 2 to 3 page film response. That will be in any given week. I'm going to have a longer video posted, and you can choose. So let's say you look at the calendar and you think, oh, well, the next 2 weeks I'm working like crazy, or I've got family in town, or I'm going to be on the move, whatever, and it's not a good week to do that. But then I have this week coming up where I'm going to have some extra time on my hands, and I can get this done. So you can choose. So there's one of those, and then by week 3, I'd like you to have an idea in mind for your final paper or project. I'm going to give you some more information about what that might look like. And then by the end of week 4, I would like you to you'll be submitting a working bibliography and just a brief outline for your final paper or project, so that we don't get to the end and you haven't started it, or you have some vague idea but you find out that it's not really going to be practical, or that you don't have the sources you need. So this way I can give you a little bit of feedback. We can phone conference if you want, and talk about how to really bring your project to fruition. And then, of course, at the end of the course, the final paper or project will be due. And I've been letting students do more creative kind of projects on some of my other courses, and this has worked well. And I think this course can also lend itself to some kind of more engaged project. So maybe you want to find a way to take our materials and the topics we're looking at, and you want to go out and find a way to dig deeper, find out what people in your community are doing, and do some kind of write-up, and give it a context that fits within our broader course. So I would welcome that, and I will help you develop it. So that is all for now, and I hope that you're as excited as I am to start this journey this summer. Okay, let's go.